hello, people. Thank you so much for the response you gave us in our pilot. We decided, let's do it again. It's time for The Scene with Dave and Bubba. I'm Dave Holly, and Bubba starts. How are you today?
I am great today, Dave. Yeah, thank you so much to our listeners for the response to the first episode. And I think we stumbled onto something here, Dave.
I think we have stumbled well. And normally that takes Jack Daniels for me.
There you go. Well, you know what else we stumbled onto? We have a special guest in the studio with us today.
Yeah.
Mr. Luke Graves is with us from the Rapid City area, playing with my band Starts and Ends. So we pulled him into the studio for a little help with our review segment. So
All
Luke,
right.
why don't you say hi?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. There we go. You're off to a roll. You got it, Luke. You know, and we were both complimenting him before we started recording this session. Is the fact that when he was doing the sound check, it's like, yeah, God, he's got a great radio voice too, doesn't he?
Blends right in.
Yeah,
I've wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
everyone
see,
wants to do a podcast at some point.
Yeah, I know. There's only like 300,000 of them in the U.S. right
Yeah.
now, so we got a great market share.
There we go.
You guys got a good idea for something going on.
Oh,
so,
true. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, yeah, welcome everybody, new listeners to The Scene. So what this is we are a podcast focused on music, comedy, and art in the greater Sioux Falls, South Dakota area. So that can include some Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska connections, even out to Wyoming. We do have connections to the west side of South Dakota as well. So what we like to do is we find local artists. I kind of dig around and find these local artists who I'm, for the most part already working with anyway. And I introduce them to my friend Dave and sometimes other special guests as well. We listen to their song. We talk about what we like about it, and then we listen to some more. So that's kind of the format for the show, and we appreciate you guys tuning in and then finding the artists and listening to their music on the streaming platforms and sharing it around with your friends as well. That's how we all build together and grow the scene as not just a podcast, but as a community at large.
So who are we going to grow with first today?
Today, we are going to feature first Mr. Ryan LittleEagle, a new friend of mine. He spent some time out in the Black Hills over the last couple of years. And while he was out there, he shot a music video for his song Made for Two.
Two people alone on the dance floor, sliding back and forth across the room. Our favorite song playing on the radio. Nothing there between us but this night. We're moving together with the beat of love, and nothing matters, it's just me and you. I'll hold you tight in those arms of mine. Made for two. In this love made for two. I'm lost in those blue eyes of yours. You're listening to the rhythm from my heart. We're in this moment with no one else, caught in an instant in time. It's just standing still. We're moving together with the beat of love, and nothing matters. It's just me and you. I'll hold you tight in those arms of mine. In this love made for two. In this love made for two. I'm twirling you around and watching you smile. You light up the room like the sun. I see you shining with stars above. To me, you are the one. We're moving together with the beat of love. And nothing matters, it's just me and you. I'll hold you tight in those arms of mine. In this love made for two. In this love made for two. Made for two. Me and you. Made for two.
That is Ryan LittleEagle and Made for Two on the Scene, which today instead of two is three. All right, so I'm Dave Holly, with me, Bubba Starts, and Mr. Introduce yourself to
Luke
everyone.
Graves.
Hey, Luke Graves. Thank
Gravy
you so
train.
much. A gravy train. I like that. It is like having gravy today, then, isn't it?
It always starts with gravy.
Yeah, all right, yeah. But, need the potatoes, too. And who's meat and who's potatoes here?
I think you're going to be the potato butt. I'm
a-
sorry.
okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
the
fine.
hairdo.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they said that the potatoes have eyes. No, they have beards. All right. I know that while we were all listening to that, we were coming up with different things and so forth as to what to talk about. But we heard some different instrumentation in there. We also got some female in there. Now, one of the other things that you mentioned, Bubba, is who you thought he was singing like. And I'm going to throw a name out there, too, because I loved the movie Urban Cowboy and the soundtrack. Johnny Lee, Looking for Love. And that right there made me go, wow, that's Johnny Lee. But then you had some other voices from the 80s and 90s
Right,
in country
it
that
reminded
you thought.
me of Randy Travis and
Yeah,
some of the duets
true.
that he had done in the 80s and 90s there, and the female coming in there at the chorus really caught me off guard the first time through. I wasn't expecting it at all. He's got such an easy voice, right? Very reminiscent Toby Keith or some of these guys with the great baritone. What an easygoing, beautiful song. So I got some words from Ryan about the song. And so he wanted to give it that Texas dance hall vibe that he kind of grew up in. He's a native Texan. So he wanted to kind of give it that vibe. I think he nailed that, right? But
no doubt.
he also recorded this song out at a place in Hill City, South Dakota called the Shoot Rooster. So he filmed an awesome music video out there. And that's where I kind of started to see and hear a little bit more about Ryan. because he worked closely and was good friends with our friend Devin Sants, who we heard from last week. So yeah, this was kind of a nice little synergistic moment here, right, between episode 1 and episode 2 to have a little connection there. And he credits Devin with giving him the push to get out there and to really attack the music business again. And I think take it to that next level, really. So yeah, really cool to hear his song today. That was the first time I've heard it, actually. I've seen the video, but I never listened to the whole song.
Right.
So really nice to introduce all of us to it. Luke, what'd you think?
That was really nice. I liked when he hits the really stylistic country where he's not so much singing, but he hits that talking when he gets real down low, and it's just that he talks those notes out and then slides back into singing. And yeah, it's just really smooth, really nice. You know, I think it fits really well, and I think it's what a South Dakota local musician kind of it's begging to have that kind of sound, right? Like we need a musician who sounds like that in South Dakota, and so I'm glad, Ryan's doing
the
it.
type that tells a story in their lyrics and in their singing.
Yeah.
So it's not just a nice little phrase that somebody comes up with and they pound it out there 100 times.
Well, and you're saying like my songs, Dave. So that's kind of a theme. No. That's a theme for today. As storytellers, right? And that's why. So when we ask for submissions to the songs, I always ask for a few words from the artist about their songs as well. And because I want to know a little bit about, maybe the inspiration, and I'm not too specific on what, just give me a few sentences about you or the song or something. And it's interesting to see what we get back from the artists. And, what Ryan wrote back to me was more about the surrounding circumstances of even getting the song and the video done, right? And it's like, oh, this song meant a lot more to you than just some lyrics on a paper. He gave me 7 words on, well, it's a song for people to fall in love on the dance floor. And then this is what that song meant to me because I got to work with my friends and we did this really awesome thing, right? So it's fun to see what these songs mean to the artists, on top of just being a song that came from the heart or, was out there. So yeah, really interesting start to the show today.
And it is. All right, so moving on then, we are going to hear from Tristen Schofield. Tell us about Tristen.
So Tristen was just out at the Wild West Songwriters Fest out in Deadwood last October. I was there as well. There was a regional songwriting competition out there, fan voted, and Tristen was actually the winner of that contest. So I was really happy to be able to feature him on today's episode, and this is his song, Hardwood Floors.
Growing up barefoot on hardwood floors is just something that don't work anymore. Ain't like it used to be. Was the oldest of my daddy's 7 sons. I never thought I'd be the only one to get out free. Every morning I'd watch the sun come up and stay out until all the work was done. Now can't you see that's a life worth living, because it's what we're given. We'll break our backs and smile from our heads down to our feet. These hardwood floors got a whole lot of history. Now that I'm getting older, ain't no one around. It's been 20 years since I came to town. It's all changed. Well, the world quit spinning when Mom passed on. Tommy took to drinking. I can't say he was the only one to hide his pain. Well, I hate to make it sound so matter of fact. It only takes because it's what we're given. We'll break her backs and smile from her hips down to our feet. These hardwood floors got a whole lot of history. Yeah, that's a life worth living, because it's what we're given. Oh, break her backs and smile from her hips down to our feet. Oh, break her backs and smile from her hips down to our feet. These hardwood floors got a whole lot of history. These hardwood floors got a whole lot of history.
Hardwood floors, yeah, they got a whole lot of history. Man, I love that part of it. And that's one of those, and we said it last week too, I love when songs give me visions and I can place myself on a certain spot. And, you think of that, think of all those first dances that people had together, or wedding dances, and just, little boot scootin' boogie and whatever.
Luke?
It's a blast of the past, man. This episode, we're hitting kind of that 90s country, and it feels good because, I've had a love-hate relationship with the new country on the radio that takes so much of what I love about country and just ruins it within the live instrumentation or even the stories that it tells. And then both of the songs today, we got songs with both telling a story, going along. I like the hook on this one, like you were saying, coming around, and it gives you that visualization that brings you all around. So, yeah, man, I like where we're going with it.
It feels real.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It feels real. And I had a producer we worked with in Nashville on Rise Up, one of my songs, and that's kind of what I explained. I was like, I want it to feel real to people. I don't want it to feel overproduced and all of that. And this is another song coming out of Cottonwood Recording out in Rapid City. Tom Freer is all over that song. I can tell his guitar playing. I know him and Tristen have worked on quite a few tracks together, and he's got that classic country sound and vibe, and we just love it. So Tristan's actually coming out May 3rd to play with my band Starts and Ends over at Dr. Lucky's in Mitchell. So really happy to have him out and showcase his talent so we can get him back with his band and open that door. And, for me, that song gives me the vision of I love where you took it with the dance floor and things like that. And for me, it was more personal. It was being on the floor of the house, the living room, right? And growing up on the floor. And that's kind of something that he alluded to when I asked him for a few words is, he says he wrote Hardwood Floors after staying up all night trying to find something to be thankful for. And after the sun came up, I realized being thankful for the way I was raised is enough for me. It's like,
geez, deep.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Philosophy Show.
Yeah, so
the
this
Philosophy
young
Scene.
man from Phillips, South Dakota, right? A lot of time, a lot of space out there. Like I said, he won the Songwriter Regional, the Songwriters Festival Regional Award, and you can see why, right? The storytelling, the truth, the three chords and the truth, right? And then having the old school recording style that Tom kind of does. I think it has a lot to do with the sounds that we're hearing from a lot of these guys. He's not overproducing these songs. It's capturing the raw emotion of the songs. Devin Sance, right? Everything that he does is through Tom Freer, and he's really capturing the sound of South Dakota right now, and we need more guys like that because we're having more and more artists and building it. A guy like Luke Graves is going to do a lot in that too. This young man's just beginning his career and is into the engineering and recording side of things, and right now we're working on, while he's in town, to actually have him play some piano and maybe record some acoustic album stuff as well, right? So more getting together, more collaboration, right? Not competition.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no competition here, right, Dave?
Exactly. We want to pump people up and give them the opportunity to be heard. And, I think that at some point we're even going to have a comedian on.
fantastic. I
Yes.
can't wait. We've been in some talks with some big players in our scene. Sarah Manson, Zach Dresch. We're looking forward to connecting the dots. That's what we're going to continue doing, Dave. I think we're off to a great start here, and yeah, just keep building. So now we're going to go to my history, and one of my oldest and dearest friends, Dylan Lewis, is in a band with his wife and partner and mother of their children, Morgan Carnes, and they have a band called Humbletown. And me and Dylan started playing guitar around the same time. Oh, geez, back in the early aughts, as they call them now, the early 2000s.
Yes.
And yeah, so this is their song, "Hold You Up."
You looked at me with those eyes wide crying. Gonna hold you in my arms, my darling. You unfold like that beer-stained jacket I left in the attic, collecting our dust. I can't be the one to hold you up. Gotta let it all run dry. Feel like you're dying. Please let me go so that you can be free. You and I will be the best that we can be. You was a bitter barrier of time. I wasn't waiting for your advice. Still I found my comfort in the darkness. Still I long for your embrace. But I can't be the one to hold you up. Gonna let it all run dry. Feel like you're dying. Please let me go so that you can be free. You and I will be the best that we can be. It's a showdown town, but no one is going. They've all gone looking for something to do. I think I found the answers on the bathroom stall. I was looking for a writing on the wall, but I can't be the one to hold you up. Gotta let it all run dry. Feel like you're dying. Please let me go so that you can be free. You and I will be the best that we can be.
Anybody that's been in love for more than a few years has that type of story, don't they? One is holding up another, and maybe it's not static that way, because at times, then the other one's holding up the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't hold up any longer, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what this song comes from, right? I'm pretty sure Morgan wrote this one, and she sings the lead, plays the clawhammer banjo on this. What an amazing, talented woman she is. Extremely well educated as well. I know she has at least one master's degree. She may have multiple for all I know. Her and Dylan both very well educated, and just amazing players. Look at the instrumentation on that whole song, right? Just blows me away that me and Dylan started playing guitar at the same time, and I play, rockabilly music in bars, and Dylan does that. They were just at the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame recently on their big stage and played a show, and They're doing such big things. Last year they toured with their 2 toddlers in tow and and toured the whole country, right? So they're out there doing it. They just had a big at the Alliance Folk Festival down in Kansas City. They had several showcases that they played, and I think they're really going to take off this year because the music speaks for itself, right? The songwriting's there. This is just a small drop in the bucket of the talent that they possess, but it was a good song that I really wanted to showcase today, and they both mean so much to me, and this song to feature, especially with Morgan leading, I feel is important to, much like we did last week when we started with Alyssa, to feature these women songwriters and these maybe, what you won't get everywhere else, right? And to really focus on, I don't want to say disenfranchised really, but the people who aren't getting the shine. That's what the show is about. This is to focus the light on the people who aren't out in the front and in the spotlight already, and to turn that spotlight onto the people that I feel deserve more shine than they're getting. And Morgan and Dylan are big parts of that. So make sure that you guys are checking out Humbletown on all your streaming platforms, as well as Tristen Schofield and Ryan LittleEagle. And we thank you guys so much for being here. Luke, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
And sitting in. Dave, as always.
What a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys. That's going to do it for this week on The Scene.
Thank you so much for listening and sharing the show. For everything The Scene, go to patreon.com/thescenesd. Follow us on all your social media channels, and make sure to make yourself part of The Scene.